Ashwini, you went through tough times in the 90s, you went through tough times in 2008, 2009, 2010. Everybody in the business did. We had to lay off people. You also, I think, I don't know. What happened? What was it like to lay off people, lose money, lose heart? What kept you going through it?
Yeah, I think so. In so many years, we've gone through two of these recessions, but I think for a design business, it's always a recession. So the first time it happened, I think it really hit us with a surprise, and not so much because of money, but because how unaware we were that this could happen. So we had really not learned that you need to you can't be too dependent on one kind of domain, one kind of clients. You can't really think that future is always going to be X and not X by 2. So I think the shock was more because we were caught unaware. But the moment we were caught, I think it was a very small team. So the first thing we decided to do is that, I think Ravi correctly put it, we decided to share the pain as well. Because we were like a family and we were always celebrating together. So we sort of opened out the numbers to the people who were with us. And I think interesting suggestions came from a lot of members. One of them, I still remember that people said, let's have tea only once a day instead of twice, and whatever money is saved. So even that little money saving was important that time.
You actually went to having tea only once a day?
We actually did that for a while.
Wow.
And we had to let go of some people. And interestingly, those people came back when times were better. But the lesson we learned is you can't take money for granted. So I think you got to cushion yourself for that. I think we should have learned that lesson much earlier. Our first check that we ever received as Elephant Design bounced. And that bounced after we had had the biggest party and finished all that money. And next day, it just, so I think we should have learned it from then on.
So you didn't start with zero, you started with minus.
Yes. So I think money cannot be taken for granted in any business, and also one domain, one kind of customer, even if you're enjoying it thoroughly, you can't depend on just one thing. So that's the first learning. I think the first recession taught us that. I think by second, India had changed a lot. So in terms of money, it did not really affect us that much. Because by the time the first recession happened, people used to think design is a marketing expense. So let go of it. But by the time the second one happened, people started thinking of design as a capital expense. So it was taken far more seriously. It was not cut down to that degree. And in fact, domains that didn't invest in design started looking at design as a way forward. So that was really how it was.